Today's biology chapter is structural organization in animals. So quickly go and subscribe this channel first. Frog vertebrate example. Frog and body division. We start with the frog, a classical example of a vertebrate. The first visual shows a cartoon frog standing on the leaf. This sets the context that frog belongs to vertebrates, animals with a backbone. So the next visual break down the frog's body into head and trunk. The head includes the sensory organs like eyes, nose and mouth, while the trunk contains vital organs such as heart, lungs and digestive system. Understanding the body's basic division is the first step in learning structural organization. Skin and eyes. The third visual highlights the moist skin of the frog. Frogs can perform cutaneous respiration, means oxygen can diffuse directly through the skin. This adaptation is especially important when underwater. The fourth visual emphasizes the frog bulging eyes. Frogs have large prominent eyes that allow them to see almost 360 degrees, which is useful for detecting predators and prey. Feeding and limbs. The fifth visual shows the frog catching an insect with its sticky tongue. So this demonstrates a specialized feeding adaptation. Visual 6 focuses on limbs. The frog has strong hind limbs and shorter forelimbs, used for jumping and swimming. Webbing between toes is labeled webbed feet for swimming. So this adaptation is crucial for aquatic life. Skeleton and heart. Visual 7 shows the frog's skeleton labeled endoskeleton present. Vertebrates have internal skeletons that provide structural support and protect vital organs. Visual 8 highlights the three-chambered heart, a characteristic feature of amphibians. Blood flows from the heart to lungs and body, partially mixing oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Now circulation and respiration. The ninth visual demonstrates double circulation, showing two circuits: pulmonary, heart, lungs, heart, and systematic heart, body, heart. Visual 10 shows lungs cartoon with the text, respiration through lungs and skin. Amphibians can respire both via lungs and skin, depend on whether they are in water or on land. Now, digestive, excretory and nervous systems. So visual 11 highlights the complete digestive system of frogs. Labeled the complete digestive system, frogs have specialized digestive organs like stomach, intestines and liver. Visual 12 emphasizes kidneys, with kidneys remove waste, shows their excretory system. Visual 13 shows a brain cartoon with the text well-developed brain, indicating sensory processing and coordination. Reproduction and life cycle. Visual 14 depicts male and female symbols labeled sexes are separate, indicating sexual dimorphism. Visual 15 illustrates the frog's life cycle. Egg, tadpole, adult, labeled metamorphosis. Egg, tadpole, adult, metamorphosis is a hallmark of amphibians, showing structural changes during the development. Now cockroach. Invertebrate example, cockroach and body division. The 16th visual shows a cartoon cockroach with the text cockroach and invertebrate. Cockroaches are invertebrates lacking a backbone. Visual 17 divides the cockroach body into head, thorax and abdomen, helping the students understand tagmosis in arthropods. Sensory organs. Visual 18 highlights antenna, labeled antennae, sensory organs. Cockroaches use antenna to detect chemical and mechanical signals. Visual 19 shows compound eyes, labeled compound eyes, which detect movement efficiently and give wide angle division. Legs and wings. Visual 20 labels 3 pairs of legs, showing adaptation for walking and running. Visual 21 depicts forewings and hindwings, labeled forewings and hindwings, showing flight capability. Exoskeleton and organ systems. Visual 22 emphasizes the exoskeleton, which protects the body and prevents the water loss. Visual 23 shows tracheal tubes, labeled respiratory through spiracles, indicating direct oxygen diffusion to tissues. Visual 24 highlights the open circulatory system with hemolymph flowing freely in body cavities. Next is digestive system. 25 shows the cockroach digestive tract with overlay. Complete digestive system indicating foregut, midgut and hindgut, helping students see internal organization. Earthworm. Annelid example, body and the segmentation. Visual 26 shows the cartoon earthworm labeled earthworm segmented body. Earthworms are segmented animals with repeating units called metameres. Metamerism explains segmentation important for the flexibility and the movement. Clitellum and Setae. Visual 28 highlights clitellum labeled Clitellum reproduction used in cocoon formation. Visual 29 shows setae, tiny bristles labeled setae help in movement, anchoring segments for burrowing. Circulatory and excretory systems. Visual 30 shows blood vessels labeled closed circulatory system. Unlike cockroach, visual 31 depicts nephridia labeled nephridia, excretory organs used to remove nitrogenous waste. Visual 32 emphasizes hermaphroditism. Both male and female organs are unique reproductive feature. Soil burrowing. Visual 33 shows earthworm burrowing in soil improves the soil fertility, linking anatomy to ecological function. Now animal tissues. Epithelial tissues. Visual 34 shows epithelial tissues labeled epithelial tissue. Visual 35 focuses on cuboidal cells. Visual 36 highlights ciliated cells, ciliated epithelium movement showing specialized adaptations. Muscle tissues. Visual 37 striated muscle voluntary for locomotion. Visual 38 smooth muscle involuntary for organs like intestines. Visual 39 cardiac muscle, heart muscle involuntary but striated. Nerve and the blood. Neuron nerve cell showing conduction of impulses. Blood connective tissue transporting nutrients and gases. Bone and the cartilage. Bone support and protection. Cartilage flexible support showing the mechanical support in vertebrates. Structural organization and organ systems. Hierarchy. Cell, tissue, organ and organ system introducing levels of organization. Digestive system breaks down the food. Circulatory system transports blood. Respiratory system takes in oxygen and excretory system removes the waste. Nervous system controls body. Reproductive system continues the life. Comparative structures, vertebrate versus invertebrate, frog versus the cockroach. Endoskeleton, internal support invertebrate. Exoskeleton, external protection invertebrate. Now the summary and the motivation is structural diversity in animals, frog, cockroach, earthworm together. Study of animal tissues is structural organization in animals. Organs work together, internal body structure, body segmentation, and structure determines the function. Flow and learning logic. Start with a vertebrate example, frog to understand body parts, organ systems and adaptations. Then move to invertebrates, cockroach to compare external skeleton, open circulation and different respiratory mechanisms. Add segmented worms, earthworm to show segmentation, closed circulation and ecological role. Introduce tissues to understand building blocks. Connect all to organ systems and structural hierarchy, ending with comparative visuals. Finish with summary posters and motivational overlays. Structure determines the function. So for the next biology session, please subscribe this channel.